My name is Rasouli Moore. You pronounce that Rasouli Moore. And it's going to be my first time on YouTube. I'm a 47-year-old guy. I'm happily married, got a beautiful wife. I'm a father. I'm a godfather. I'm a stepfather. And now I'm a grandfather. It's a trip. But so I'm an uncle, I'm a son, I'm a brother, and I got some really, really good friends. This channel, the reason why I decided to make this channel, I figured it gives me a really good opportunity while I'm still here, to reveal and express the love that I have for the people that's closest to me. I might not tell you every day, and this, I figure, is something that you can always look back and get to know me a little better, especially my grandchildren, who I love so much. The real reason behind the channel is to let the people out there know that if there's a thought in your mind of something that you want to become, or if you have an inkling of not being completely satisfied with who you are, then I just want to encourage you to stay focused on who you want to become, no matter what the outside circumstances are. Just stay focused on who you want to become, and you'll get there. I've been through some stuff throughout my life. I like to say that I have lived many lives in this here body. But one thing that I can say is that when it comes to who I've always been, there's something that's been consistent throughout my whole life, and that's the level of love that I have for the people closest to me. You know what I mean? It's not something that I take for granted. It's not something. It's hard for me to express. As a child growing up, the first people that we learn to love is our parents, and then growing older, I realized how strong I loved, and I just felt like everybody has to feel the same way. Then it was my brothers and my sisters. We have friends. When we get older, we have wives. Some of us have wives or husbands first, and then we have children. In my case, I had children, and then I got married later. But nevertheless, that's what it was. But the love that I have for people, even though I've lived these different times in my life, and I had different focus, my mindset was different, and all these different times of my life, the love that I have for people is super strong. It's so powerful that it's hard for me to express with words. So I made a quote, and I did my best to research this to make sure that it's all me. Please give me the credit. But the quote is, "I love without the expectation for reciprocation." And what that means is that I can't expect the level of love that I have for you to come back equal from you to me, whoever you are. If you're my wife, if you're my son, my daughter, my mom, dad, whoever you are to me, I would be disappointed if I tried to put that on you. So I love without the expectation for reciprocation. Sometimes my emotions can be super strong about people, and as a youngster, if I were to see my mother cry, I always just wanted to hurt or fix whatever that was, or the reason why she was crying, and that kind of spilled over into my brothers, my sisters. I've always felt like a protector, and then even so, it spilled over to my friendships level of love that I have for my extended brothers, because I was involved with some different things throughout my life. But it got dangerous. So over the years, I learned to become more aware of how dangerous that could be, but appreciate how powerful that level of love is, So anyway, nowadays it's a little bit different, I don't regret much that I've done throughout my life. I'm pretty happy about who I am, who I've become. I've always been bold enough to stay focused on who I am in whatever arena that was, or whatever time in my life that was. I always stayed pretty true to myself. And so I'm pretty proud about that for myself. My love for people, the people that I truly love, it was an overwhelming feeling, overwhelming power. I can't really express, but I know, that you know what I mean out there. When I had my children, I experienced a level of love that I really wasn't familiar with, But anyway, so this journey for me, man, is just I'm out here to, I'm just thinking, like, before I pass away, because I know eventually that's gonna happen, and I know that's pretty much what's predominantly in the back of my mind as I get older and I watch all my friends and my loved ones go. I feel like I have grown children now. I have a grandson, a granddaughter now, and I think this is a great opportunity for me to leave something behind so they can remember me, or so they can see me and know who I am. When I say I love you, those words are powerful. Back in the day, I was involved with different things, and I had love for my extended brothers, and if anything were to happen to somebody that I love, I would go crazy. And I'm sure that a lot of people out there could relate to that, But over the years, I've learned that wasn't always the best way to handle those things. At least I realized that I had to start thinking about the outcomes, or if I react this way, how that's gonna garner some kind of response from somebody, And as I grew older, when I started having my children, they started being able to, speak to me and tell me how they felt about certain situations. I realized that my level of love, even though I knew how much I felt or how much I feel towards people, I know that they started teaching me that wasn't being conveyed, So, and it's a trip when you really can reflect on that stuff and start looking back. But anyway, I don't even know why I'm going off on this right now. This channel is really just to help, or to give you my perspective on staying focused and becoming whoever it is that you want to become. Sometimes I reflect back and think about those thoughts that I had. What was I thinking? Or why was I so strongly convicted to that feeling at that time in my life? Whatever that feeling is. And I sometimes think about those things, and I feel like, this is a great opportunity for me to reflect, express, speak to, and just kind of get it out there and work through it. Emotions can be extremely powerful, especially if you can make them work for you. A lot of times people out here, we just live our lives and we don't think about the consequences of our actions, We're just kind of going day by day and just letting it ride, But what I've realized is when I would be really steadfast on a certain particular emotion, or if I felt a certain way about a situation, it typically, I wouldn't be surprised when that thing came to pass. And it would typically be in the response of something that I really didn't want to happen. But I will always look back and said, dang, I knew that was gonna happen. So over my lifetime, I've been involved with a lot of different things, and when it comes to the level of love that I have, I know that my emotional ties and how powerful that love is for people can do a lot of damage sometimes. And I've always done things and really didn't think twice about my actions or how those actions might garner some type of a response from someone else. But nowadays, because I'm focused, I am more aware of my actions, and I'm more determined and focused on the results that I want. So because of that, I have to be aware of my actions. So I'm thinking now, they say life is like chess, and sometimes we learn from the least expected places. My children have taught me a lot. My beautiful wife, she's taught me a lot. The people that I've met in my life, friends and family, they've all taught me a lot, and I'm grateful. And when I say they've taught me a lot, some of us might look at those thoughts and think, those were bad instances or terrible situations. But everything is all about perception, perspective. And I'm thankful for all that I've been through, even though sometimes it's been hard. I don't even know. Maybe I'm oversharing, but the reason why I'm saying all of this is because I've realized how your emotions can get the best of you if you don't take control of that. And so over the years, I've learned how to be more aware of my emotions with the help of my beautiful wife and my children. They've taught me some things about myself that I was maybe closed-minded to earlier in life. So now it's 2025. I've been more focused now than I ever have been in my life to get the proper responses that I want from any given situation. And sometimes I just take the time and really, as I'm in a heated situation, I can stop and pause and kind of have an out-of-body experience in a way, and then stop myself in that moment and change the whole dynamic of the conversation to get a different response or a more pleasant one, something that I'm really looking to do. So nowadays I'm more focused, and I know where I'm going. I know what I want to do. I know who I want to become while I'm still on this earth. It's a real journey. It's a fun ride, and I'm loving every minute of it. But I'm more focused on the results that I want, and because of that, I'm more aware of my actions and how they affect the results that I'm likely to get. So it's 2025 now, and I decided to start this YouTube journey, and I figured, why not? Let's just check it out, see what happens. I welcome you to come along with me, and let's just take this ride.